Here live as well with us.
Hey guys, what's up?
All right, we got a big announcement.
Yeah, can they like message and stuff? Because it's funny. I don't. It's like we think it's my first time, right? Doing this kind of stupid shit.
I
Hey
think they can. I
everybody.
see a lot that are on here right now. A ton of people piling in.
Yeah, but they're not
here.
just on here, right? They're like on. Aren't they on
And
like
we're on
all the
Facebook and
interwebs?
streaming and all over the place.
Okay.
With a big announcement. Michael's saying, "Hey, Robin."
Hey, Michael. I just, the thing is like when we do these, like, I think we're like, you guys don't even know, this is so funny. So I'm actually in the middle of doing a rapid implementation workshop right now. We've got about 30 people who are over at the Marriott and they set my timer. I'm like, look, I got a hard stop at noon. I got to get out of here, get back to my office to do this live thing. So, I'm watching the timer and I see it's counting down and I got like 2 minutes to spare. I'm all proud of myself, wrapping up 2 minutes early. And I look at my watch and I'm like, oh shit. And like, it was like 12:20 and I'm still at the Marriott. Like I got to drive home and all that. And they forgot to set the timer for a hard stop at noon. So anyway, made it back. So I'm a little discombobulated because usually I like it. I like to be, seeing the messages and comments and stuff like that. So you guys know how insecure I am. I need a lot of feedback and good propping up. So I need to know you're out there.
So Morel said, "With big Robin surprise is killing me. It's like early Christmas." Nicole is saying, "Aloha from Maui."
Aloha.
So, we got a lot of people on here. So Robin, what is the big surprise? What is it? What's the big announcement?
Okay, so the really big announcement, the big surprise, we've just publicly, I guess, formalized our boot camp speaker lineup. So just so you guys know, every year we have a big annual event for our members. And if you're in a toolkit membership or your MSP launch or accelerators or producers club, you get 2 tickets to boot camp. We do a virtual option as well for those members. And, then outside of that, you can buy tickets to come to this boot camp. It's our big annual international conference where we get roughly around 1,200 MSPs. That's not including vendors and sponsors. 1,200 MSPs are joining us in person. Typically have another 500 to 1,000 that join us on a virtual, not in person. So it's a big industry event. And one of the things we pride ourselves on is doing things at our events that people don't do in this industry. So we were the first to kind of start giving away a car. We give away a car every year and holding these contests. We throw big parties. I guess that's not totally unique to us. So, go to any tech industry event and there's going to be booze and parties guaranteed. Otherwise you just don't get them to show up. But the other thing that we do is we have these celebrity speakers, right? So this year, the one thing that's really exciting and new and you just do not want to miss is that we are holding the Better Your Best competition as usual, where I get my top clients to compete and come on stage and talk about what they did specifically to grow their business and sales and profits. And you get to take home the blueprints of what they did, how they did it last year. What was the average last year? The average
it was about 1.1 million in additional
revenue added
and like 500,000-600,000 additional profits to the bottom line.
So, last year we had 5 MSPs. That was the average of the group up there, not like collectively, but each, like the average for each contestant was adding over $1 million top line and over $500,000 in bottom line net. And you get to go home with the campaigns that they use, the strategies, the tools, et cetera, right? So this year we decided to mix it up a little bit. And so if you go over to robinsbigseminar.com, okay. So one tiny little bit of an announcement is the theme, because we always have a theme every year. We did a circus last year we did the God Marketer, kind of a play on the Godfather. And this year we are completely spoofing Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? So we are, it's Raiders of the Big Profits though. So that's what this year's theme is. I still got to get myself in costume. They're using a pretty generic photo there, but that's what it's going to be. And the real big announcement, Jeff, if you'll scroll down a little bit, you can see we have some celebrity judges. There's a little hint right there. We'll come back to that in a minute, but we are having 3 of the sharks from Shark Tank, Robert Herjavec, Damon John, and Kevin O'Leary are all going to be there simultaneously at boot camp in this small setting. And we are going to have our 5 Better Your Best finalists competing to be spokesperson for my industry or for my company and ambassador to the industry. And they're going to be live on stage pitching the Sharks. And then we are also going to have an exclusive interview with the Sharks on stage, where we're going to be asking them business questions about what they just heard. What do you think of this industry? What do you think the opportunities are? What do you think? What do you think they are? What do you think you would advise them to do? And I'm looking at the message, like they said, we should have gone with Shark Week. Maybe we should have. Well, see, we did a Pirates theme, and I thought about doing another similar, but I thought it was too close to the Pirates theme. So, we've always wanted to do a Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of theme. So
maybe on the other side, we should make them all dress up like Raiders of the Lost Ark of this. Like,
yeah, right.
Do it instead of the suits. I feel like they're a little overdressed for the theme on this here.
Right. I hear you. So that's the big announcement. And guys, this is not any small expense to bring 3 of the sharks from Shark Tank to come in. I know these guys, we've had Robert multiple times. We were actually just at Robert's office. We took a group of about 20, 25 MSPs up there, Jeff. So some of you don't know this about Robert, but Robert started the Herjavec group with him and 2 other guys, and they grew it from 0 up to, I think it was like 400 or 500 million as an MSSP. So he's an active operating CEO of the Herjavec group, but then they recently merged with Fishtech, which is another huge VAR, and they created Sideris, which is a $1.2 billion a year MSSP. And MSP VAR, they do both. They're actually going to be making some changes and splitting up the services and whatnot. It was kind of interesting, but we were just at the SOC in Kansas City and learning from Robert. He spent the day with us talking about how he built the business and so forth. So that was a phenomenal day. Just the wisdom that came out of that was incredible. So Robert is great. Damon is phenomenal. We had Damon come and speak at our Producers Club event. He was actually I went to Shark Tank twice. He invited me the second time to come and watch him being filmed. And Damon is a phenomenal entrepreneur, and he understands marketing. I think he understands marketing. Honestly, Jeff, I don't want to insult Robert or Kevin, but I think he understands marketing like a little bit more than even those guys. He's a real marketing genius. He really gets it, right? And then, of course, you got Mr. Wonderful. No event is complete without Mr. Wonderful, right? And we've had Kevin speak at our event multiple times. Same thing. He really understands business, investing, finances, market trends, growth in small business. So this is a huge win for us to get all 3 of them at the same event at the same time. You're not going to see anything like this in the IT industry. I don't know of any industry that's doing this kind of session. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be like very, very valuable to everybody. Now, Jeff, if you want to scroll up a little bit, let me just, let me give you just some basic details about boot camp now that we've kind of made the big announcement, right? So it's going to be here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are back here. One year we went to Orlando, but we're back here in Nashville at the Omni Hotel, which is a beautiful property right downtown in the heart of Nashville. All the fun, all the bars, all the honky tonks right there. I mean, this is an event. Nashville's a city that you want to bring your family with you because there's so much fun. It's a really good, but it's clean party town. It's kind of like Vegas, but it's not as seedy as Vegas. I love Vegas. I don't mean to talk bad about, I love my Vegas peeps, right? 60 sessions, 70 vendors. It's going to be April 11th through the 14th of next year. And what it is, it's our big annual conference where we bring all of our clients together internationally together under one roof. And the entire focus of the event is how do you become a more successful, a more lucrative, a more productive entrepreneur. We're going to have vendors. There's always vendors. There's vendor sessions and people love those sessions, but everything is focused on sales, marketing, business development, and leadership strategies. We're not here to teach you how to install, a backup or set up a cloud backup or things like that. And not that those things aren't important, but this really is for your sales and marketing team and for you as the owner, and all of our members come together at this event. So the people who should attend are CEOs of IT firms, obviously our members, definitely, but also the sales, marketing, and business development team. So even we have members who will bring a service manager who's not just a service manager, but somebody who's partnering with them, who's a key employee, who is like looking at business development, like how do we grow? How do we get more high value customers in here? What sort of services should we be offering in 2023? And one of the things that's happening right now in our industry, a lot of trends going on, a lot of new things, a lot of opportunity, tons and tons of opportunity. One of the things Robert said when we were out at his office, he said, Jeff, help me remember this right, but he said, you know, there's good news and there's bad news, Robert said. So Robert, as I said, he's a $1.2 billion MSSP, and the investment firm, the private equity firm backing him, has a whole portfolio of companies, and they bring these CEOs together and they bring in key leading financial and industry experts, and they look at trends. And that's what this event Robert was attending. And he said the news across the board was we are headed for a really, really rough recession. They think it's, now don't shoot the messenger. This is just what we're hearing. And I'm hearing this quite a bit more, whether we will or not, I don't know, but I'm hearing it more and more. But the good news, Robert was saying, the good news is MSPs, MSSPs, cybersecurity is going to remain super strong because of the regulatory compliance that is happening right now, and what's going on with the industry, or what's going on with the insurance industry and insuring companies, what's going on with CMMC, what's going on with even PCI compliance. There's new PCI compliance that's going to be hitting next year that really has some teeth. And, you know, things like payments, things that like credit card processing. If your clients are taking credit cards or processing orders like that, you've got to be aware of these changes because they are impacting your customers. And you as their MSP need to know what's going on so that your services are compliant. Because like Jeff Farr, we were just over at the Marriott talking about this. Jeff Farr has an MSP that he's involved in. And he said, you know what, folks, we can't not offer two-factor authentication, or we can't leave out employee awareness training anymore because we'll be in breach of our insurance policy, you know, meaning him as an MSP, right? So these are things that you got to know about. So this is the big industry event where we come together, we talk about these trends, but through the lens of the entrepreneur, not just the tech, but the entrepreneur. How are you going to capitalize on this? Who do you need to hire? What new service offerings do you need? How are you pricing those services? What industries are hot right now that you should be looking at? Like the automotive industry right now is hot as hell right now. If you're not talking to automotive dealers because of this new compliance that came in place where they have to be secure and they have to do a security audit, because they are the loan originators. If you're not, like, my clients are making bank on this right now. You got to know these trends. That's the kind of stuff that we talk about at this event. How are you packaging and pricing? How are you making money? And this is all going to be over April 11th through the 14th. So that's what the event is about. That is who should attend. Again, MSPs, the owners, the business partners, all the marketing and sales team should attend this event. Absolutely. Jeff, what else? I mean, we want to talk about.
Yeah, Robin. So why are we? It just turned December. This isn't until April. Why are we talking about this? I think this is really, it's earlier than we usually have. So maybe talk about that of why we're bringing this up now, why we're making sure that everyone knows about it today here on December 2nd.
Yeah, well, there's two reasons for it. For the majority of people we want to get to this event are our current members. I mean, honestly, you know, they're our current customers. I mean, this year we added 480 new members. That's not a bullshit number. That's a real legit number. So we have all those additional people that are going to be coming in. Everybody gets 2 tickets, and that's in addition to the clients we already have. So one of the things we want to make sure is if you want to come to this event, you've got to claim your ticket. If you're owed a ticket, if you're a toolkit, MSP launch, accelerators, producers club, you get those 2 tickets, you got to claim them now. But even more important is you got to book your hotel and your travel. And I'm really worried about the hotels because every year Nashville is a hot city, guys. They're back open. It's the Bachelorette capital of the country. So bachelorettes coming to Nashville to have their parties, and spring is like prime season, April. So one of the things that I am actually most worried about is making sure people get hotel rooms. So it's not just register. I'm begging you, please book your hotel room, because you can cancel it. Like if you book it and reserve it right now, you can, if you get closer and you can't make it, you can cancel it. The hotel's not going to ding you. They're not going to charge you. But if you wait until February, you might not get a hotel room. And if you do, you're going to be paying $600 a night. So we've got a room block for everybody. We got it room blocks at 2 different hotels, including the Omni and another one. But if you hesitate, guys, and you think, oh, I'm just going to wait till after Christmas, I'll do it the next, I'm telling you guys, you're going to regret it. So you got to get your registration in now, and most importantly, your hotel room. The second thing I would also recommend is get your flights, because we know flights are going to go up exponentially higher. It's not going to get cheaper. So better to get them now, so you save yourself some money. Don't be stupid and pay more than you have to. But the hotel rooms are ones that I really care about. And yeah, we got Airbnb and there's a ton of hotels, but I'm telling you, there are times downtown Nashville, you cannot get a hotel room. One year, we actually had to put people at the Opryland Hotel, which is about a 35-minute drive away from downtown Nashville, because it was the only place we could get hotel rooms. That's how busy downtown Nashville is, especially in spring and summer, because all the people come in. So
yeah, and one thing to note, and I just got this note from Mike Stadola, our CMO, right before this, is that as of this morning, we have 517 attendees that are registered for boot camp, and that is growing every day. We had over 100 register yesterday. When we sent out just a single email. And so you want to make sure that you get registered here, especially if you already have tickets promised as part of your memberships. So Toolkit membership, MSP Launch Academy members, Accelerators Club, Producers Club, you guys all have 2 tickets included within your membership there. And if you don't, make sure that you get registered. James says he registered 3 times just to make sure.
Well, the Omni, and by the way, I'm seeing in the chat, the Omni is already sold out. That's the hotel we're in, right? That's what I'm telling you guys. It's that we are going to have massive attendance at this in the hotels. There are other hotels. We are working to get more room block opened up, and we'll keep communicating. Just register. And then if you're registered, we know we can communicate with you if we get an additional room block or other options open up, but you got to get registered first. Okay. So if you are if you're an existing client, take that registered. It says on the site, Jeff, go down where it says, if you're owed tickets with your membership, click here. Yeah. You'll see that right there. Those are the ticket prices, right? So if you're owed tickets with your membership, you're going to click on that big red button that says, if you're owed tickets, you're going to click on that. And what it's going to do is going to take you to the dashboard. It's just going to automatically log you in. And all you got to do is confirm your seat. And then it's going to take you to where you can book a hotel room. If you get stuck, you need problems, you can always reach out to our organization. If you're a member, you know how to do that, right? But if you're not a member, then the ticket prices, as you can see, we have a platinum first class, and that is on early bird pricing right now. So these prices are all going to go up. And so, one time is $2,997. Additional tickets, I believe, Jeff, unless we changed it, are $100 each. So the tickets, that's the entrance in. You've got a VIP in person, and then we do have a virtual option for this. Okay. So I know I saw that as well. Is there a virtual option? And so if you just know you can't make it, then you can join the virtual option. The other thing is, if you register, we give, and I can't remember I don't know if we have the exact date, but we give you up until a certain date where you can cancel your in-person, get your money back, and go virtual instead, get the difference back. Right. So yeah, okay, there you go. It's March 20th, right? So you have, the most important thing is get your tickets, get them registered, because you have the option to cancel the hotel and cancel the flight and cancel with us and not be owed anything, and it'll be fine. And it's like March. So it's not even, that's a pretty generous, all the way in. By then you'll know if you're coming or not, but we have options. But I'm telling you guys, if you want to be in person, and I would urge you to be in person, virtual is better than not being here at all. But virtual is nowhere near as valuable as the in-person experience. I'm telling you guys, you just get here in person, move things. You have plenty of time. It's in April. It's 5 months from now. Get registered, get the hotel room, reserve your tickets. I really do think we're going to end up selling out of this event, and meaning like we are going to have to turn people away based on the registration we have right now, based on the number of tickets that are owed. So if you have any interest in joining this event, you got to get registered right now. Now, the other thing, Jeff, if you'll roll up a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, one thing before you cover that is that I wanted to talk about too, is that our toolkit membership, which is our new membership we started at the beginning of this year, is that if you're in one of our apprentice legacy memberships there, that you've been a longtime member, you've been an apprentice club member, and you want to get into boot camp, we've got a way of how we can get this waived of that $997. Just call our office and ask for Alexis, and she can walk you through of how you can get a ticket for free to be able to get there. Actually, 2 tickets for free to be able to get there. Really doesn't cost you anything extra. But just if you're seeing this and you're an apprentice club member and say, hey, I'd love to go and check this out, then call and talk to Alexis, and she can walk you through that of how to be able to get that ticket for free, no additional cost as a member.
Right. Now, one other bonus. I always like to have some kind of bonus Scooby snack for you guys. So one of the things that we are going to give you is at the Producers Club meeting this year, we had Robert come in and talk to our members. It was actually in July. And it was just such a good session. I mean, he talked about sales and marketing, and not things like, sometimes you hear speakers that are really successful CEOs, and the stuff they talk about is like so far up here, and you're down here in your size, and you just really can't implement it. But everything Robert talked about, you could take home, you could use. It was just pure gold. In addition to that, I spent a day with a group of about 25 MSPs in his office recently, and they will not allow us to share the entire recording. But they said we can share snippets of it. So when you register, no matter what level membership, we're going to give you the Producers Club recording of Robert's interview, and we're going to give you the snippets of that day with Robert, some of the highlights of that day, which, guys, I'm telling you, this alone is worth the fee of registration. If you have any entrepreneurial spirit whatsoever, if you value the advice of a $1.2 billion CEO in our industry who grew it from scratch, if you value that, this is pure gold. You could take this and just register and not attend boot camp and get your money back. I really feel that way. Now, we still want you to come to boot camp. Don't misunderstand me. We don't want you to register and then not show up. But register, you're going to get access to this. These private recordings that we're not making available anywhere else. They are very, very exclusive. I'm so excited to bring these things to you because, I'm an entrepreneur too. And I remember what it was like when I was really, really small, or, doing $1 million or 5 million and trying to figure a lot of things out. I mean, I'm still trying to figure things out. Don't get me wrong, but this is the kind of stuff that helped me to grow. This is the stuff that clarified a lot of the things I couldn't get past, couldn't get over, challenges, blocks. I mean, guys, I can't even begin to describe it. I'm a copywriter, I'm a salesman. I can't begin to tell you how valuable the day with Robert is. And the fact that I can share this with you is super exciting. So, Jeff, what other questions should we answer?
Hey, one of the things that we haven't covered on here, we've got the Sharks. That is going to be phenomenal, of having them being pitched by our Better Your Best finalists, 5 MSPs. We haven't talked about one of the things that we're doing new here at Boot Camp in 2023 is more breakout tracks very specifically for MSPs. And so we've got 3 different tracks that we have. We've got a CEO track, we've got a marketing track, and a sales track. So talk a little bit about that, of what the plans are and really what that means for everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we're always trying to make a better show for everybody. So yeah, we've decided we are going to have 3 big tracks. Again, one is very specific to CEOs. The other one is going to be specific for those in marketing, and we are going to be adding on a lot more sales content. So some of you know, if you're in Producers Club or your accelerators for sure, then you know Satima Fowler has come on as an expert in residence. Satima was a long-term Producers Club member. She was a Better Your Best winner, finalist one year, and finalist and winner another year. And she and a group of MSPs, well, she grew her MSP to 6 million with over $1 million net profit. Very, very profitable, very successful business. And she merged with a couple other MSPs and they formed Iconic. And Iconic got to, I'm going to estimate around 40 million, I think it was, that they built to. They then sold to Integris, which is $100 million a year MSP. And Satima ran the sales for that organization. So she is now an expert in residence. And Satima and my sales manager, Ray Green, are going to be delivering a lot of content. Like right now, they're delivering a training series. They've run accountability groups on MSP sales and the playbook and how do you close more deals. So we are going to be putting more in our event for salespeople. I mean, it's always been very marketing focused and CEO focused, but we are going to be designing this very intentionally so that you can bring your marketing manager or you can bring your salesperson and they can learn as much. And they think about it like me as a CEO. I mean, this is what I do. If I go to an event, I bring my different people, or I even send if I can't personally go, I'll send my people and I'll send 3 or 4, because what they'll do is they'll go in different breakouts and they all come back with ideas and we collaborate and we get the benefit of that. So that's going to be really good. The other thing we're looking to do is create a little more like longer breaks, more air in the schedule. So you have more time to talk to each other. And I'm not going to promise that, because I'm always like, hey, we got to do a session on this. And hey, we got to do a session on that. And I'm just trying to give you as much value and content as I can. And I know sometimes we bury you with that, but I think you're going to find that we're going to have a marketing managers day like we did last year, which was people loved. With the marketing managers came in and they spent a day with my CMO, my marketing team, Mike Sodola, and MC and Casey's now on the team. And it was we just heard nothing but great feedback. And you as the CEO, if you're a CEO watching this, you want your marketing people to be educated, informed, and go to these conferences and get new ideas and bring that back to you. You know, it's like, you know, people say, well, what if I invest all this money in training them and they leave? And my answer is always, well, what if you don't invest in all the training and they stay? Now you got a dummy working for you, you know? So you want to bring your sales and marketing people in. They can learn things. They can get new ideas. I know even some CEOs bring their top engineers or their service managers in for the same reason. So, all right, Jeff, what else do we need? What other questions do we need to answer?
Yeah, so one of the questions that someone had is, what's the timing? And I can answer this one here. What's the timing of the conference around this? Is that we're going to start on Tuesday morning. So you're going to want to get there by Tuesday morning, Monday night, one of those two of getting there, get in and registered. We are all day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we end by noon on Friday. And so we'll be ending noon on Friday. If you want to stay and hang out and see the craziness of Broadway in Nashville on Friday night, then absolutely go for it there. But we're going to end content on noon on Friday there. All right. And Paul was saying Robin starts early, so show up the day before. That's his best advice.
Yeah, baby, come on.
And all the sessions are going to be available virtually. You do get, as part of your ticket, you get a virtual company pass for those that are not able to join you there in person. And so if you buy that in-person pass, or for those that are in any of our memberships, you also get that virtual for someone that's not going to be there in person. There. For the Omni and the hotel tickets, I know with that, where right now we're sold out with those. We're auditing just to be able to make sure and clear things up if anyone booked too many rooms by accident. So there may be some that show up. The Omni Hotel is mostly sold out with those, where we've got a large block. We pretty much are what's going on at the Omni during that day there. And so we do everything that we can. We do have that room block at the West End. It's just a block away there. And both of those, we got really great rates with it, under $300 a night, which is fantastic for downtown Nashville to be able to get there. Let me see if we have anything else. Robin, one that was posted on here is that your session that's listed on there is around trust-based selling. So just talk about that real quick, around trust-based selling and why that's so important.
Yeah. So, every year at boot camp, I also do a deep dive into some kind of a marketing track. So Jeff, if you want to, I don't know if you're controlling the screen, but if you go over and you click on speakers, you'll see more details on that. So every year I do like a seminar in a seminar, and based on everything I'm seeing right now, it's kind of interesting. What just kind of sealed the deal for me is Merriam-Webster online dictionary named gaslighting as their word of the year, because it was the word that had a 17,000+ % increase in searches on what that meant. And so, I think we live in a world where people just don't trust. And I really believe that now more than ever, it's important for you as the CEO of an IT services firm to sell trust more than anything else, more than services, more than everybody's offering services and security and compliance, and everybody's saying they're going to do a good job. But I think if you really want an unfair advantage in your business, I think that you really have to shift your whole orientation about how do we become the most trusted MSP in our market? How do we get people to trust us? And I think the mistake that a lot of MSPs, it's not just MSPs, but all business owners make this mistake. And they think, well, I'll just have to do a good job, right? If I just do a good job and I do the right thing and I'm not scummy and I make good on my word and all those things, that I'll get rewarded in the marketplace. And see, it doesn't happen that way, because a lot of you are honest and ethical and do a good job and are, wouldn't do a thing to hurt a flea. You're given the best advice, because people get to trust in very unique ways. They don't get to trust just because you do a good job. So there has to be very intentionally designed strategies implemented so that people get to trust you. And that is engineered in your marketing. It's engineered in your sales process. So your marketing has to, build trust in the marketplace, but then your interaction when they call your office, or when you're quoting them and you're going through that process, you're either building trust or you're hurting it. There's no neutral. There's zero neutral. And so most people haven't really even thought about this, right? Because you're selling an intangible service. If I buy this calculator, I can see it, I can test it out, I can see if I like it. But if I'm buying a service, especially IT, especially now when I got to really trust that I'm not going to get hacked or breached or exposed and damaged and down. These are, if an MSP screws up and a client gets hacked, that's a big, big deal. And people need to trust that you're going to be doing the right thing. You're going to secure them as best you can. You're going to back them up. You're going to be brilliantly prepared should anything happen. And so I am going to be doing a very, very good deep dive with new content, because I've talked about this, but I'm going to do a very focused content on how a lot of MSPs are destroying trust before they even meet with a client. I'm telling you, it's happening. And you think, oh, we're not doing it. I promise at the end of my session, there's going to be a list of things you're going to want to stop doing or start doing. I'm going to talk about the sales process a lot. How do you build trust in the sales process? And I'm not talking about gimmicks. I'm not talking about, doing like NLP techniques and mind control. I'm not talking about that. That's actually against what we're trying to do, which is build trust. We want to be authentic, but there's things that you want to do differently so that not only do you build trust, but you also get deep respect. And I saw Paul Tracy on here earlier. Like, Paul Tracy is one of our members. He's fantastic at this. He understands how to build trust. He understands how to build celebrity. He understands how the consultative sale goes, sorry, Paul, I'm going to give all your secrets away, but he's a very, very successful MSP because of these things. And I think most MSPs, when they're thinking of marketing, at the core, they're not saying, what are we doing to build trust? I think they're going, what do we do to get leads in here? Or, how do we get more people to answer the phone? Or, what's a cheap way to generate more leads? Or how do we get in front of more eyeballs? And it's the wrong question. It should be, how do we build so much trust in the marketplace that people seek us out? That when anybody is asked, they go, oh, those guys are the most, I would only call those guys. I trust those guys more than anybody else. See, that's when you're really going to get somewhere. And so I am going to be doing a deep dive on this. It's seminar within the seminar so that you can understand how to implement trust-based sales and marketing strategies with checklists and scripts and examples. So when you go home, you can instantly, this is not going to be theory. This is going to be actual tangible stuff that you can take home and implement.
Yeah, I think I think the last thing in wrapping this up here that I want to emphasize, we talked about this a lot internally, and I think it's an area that we wanted to make sure that we do a better job this year of, is emphasizing also that boot camp is not, if you went to a road show, if you were at Houston or Las Vegas or with us in Orlando
or rapid
Boston
implementation
or a rapid implementation workshop,
totally different.
That was not boot camp, of where that's like just a little tiny taste of what boot camp is. And so if you got value out of one of those, you definitely want to get this, of where this is where 1,200 MSPs all coming together, all growth focused here, to be able to really get that energizing boost to take advantage of everything that this market right now that Robert was talking about, of how this is a market that, if you're doing it right, you shouldn't be affected by what's going on, or you shouldn't be affected the same as everyone else by this upcoming recession. You got to get here in person. You got to be with others that are successful, that are like-minded here. And there's a ton of them that are going to be there. So don't be thinking, hey, I went to boot camp. That was in Las Vegas a month ago. That wasn't boot camp.
You didn't go to boot camp. That was like 100 people, 150. Well, Vegas was a little bit bigger. It was like 200 we had or whatever. But yeah, I mean, no, boot camp is 1,200 and a virtual component and all the breakouts and so we have international clients that have been clients for a long time, and they're Producers Club members, and they will sometimes not go to the Producers Club meetings or roadshow, but they will come in, they will fly in for boot camp. It's like the one, if you have to go out of all the events that I do, that we provide, if you had to pick one, which one would you go to? I'm telling you, boot camp's the one. And I know we're going to be doing another sort of mini tour that we're going to be doing. We do roadshow and all that, and those are valuable and great. And I don't want to tell you not to come to them, but boot camp is the one where members tell us, man, this is where it finally clicked. Where I went and I kind of heard all this stuff, or I had the toolkit on the shelf, or I had I just couldn't seem to get out of my own way. I couldn't seem to figure out how to, it's like they tell me over and over again, boot camp is where it clicked. So again, I just want to reiterate, go to robinsbigseminar.com and register. Once you register, you'll be able to book your hotel. We have two, we've got I think it's the Westin, Jeff, is that right?
Yeah, the Westin, I know, as of prior to this live call right here, there is availability. Still has rooms still available. I've seen people, they're booking rooms at it right now. Yep. Get those, grab those now. You're going to save money by doing that. Take advantage of the room blocks that we already have here, and get registered now. As Robin mentioned, is that you can always, if something comes up and you're a month out, you can always cancel those things out
and get your money back, and you won't be penalized, even from us, right? So register, you'll be given the option to book your hotel room. Please do that right away. Once you're registered, we'll give you more, details about the event and the start times and whatnot. And as things evolve, like we're trying to get more rooms right now at the Omni. And if a new room block opens up, we're going to let those who are registered know about that, right? So we'll be able, once you're registered and we know who's coming, then we can communicate you with it. So the first step, get registered, then book your hotel, grab something, right? And then if Omni opens up and you want to cancel the Westin and move to the Omni, you can do that, but get registered, get a hotel room so you're not without one. And then we can monitor the situation. We got a couple of months. And my customer service team will be there to help you with any question. And as we get closer, we're going to give you more granular details on the schedule as we get closer. But, we'll give you the general start time, end time, like Jeff just talked about. And again, we'll get more granular.
We've got more speakers that are coming here. We've just posted up just the beginning of it. We've got that big announcement with the Sharks. Robin's big focus and sessions there. We've got more that are coming. You're going to see that coming up over the next month or so, of really filling in exactly. You guys are going to want to be there. We got a lot of great things planned.
Yeah. And like Matt said, we got to grab this testimonial right here and put it on the website. Boot camp is where you realize you can grow your business and move forward instead of accepting small, crappy clients and staying where you are. And that there is, well, it's, it sounds funny. I mean, it is funny when he said the way he said it, but it's so true, because I think so much of the reason we don't succeed more, all of us, is we just get in our own little world in our office. We work in isolation. I mean, when I say in isolation, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to grow a business, it's tough, and you need that motivation. You need to see other people succeeding. It's not just about rah motivation. It's actually being able to see somebody else succeeding and then looking at what they do so you can follow the path. So so get registered, guys. More speakers, more sessions are going to be announced, but please get that damn hotel room. I mean, we're already selling. Look, we're in December. It's like what, December 2nd, and we're already sold out at the Omni, right? So please, I'm urging you, get registered, get that hotel room.
All right. I think we're good. RobinsBigSeminar.com.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.